Today in the Put Yourself First podcast, we are diving into a radical shift that you can make in your work as a female leader, and it is magnetism over micromanagement. This is for the woman who is doing all the things, being reliable, doing everything for everyone, holding it all down, but feeling like you're overgiving, you're overworked and undernourished, and you're starting to feel resentment towards your work. Maybe that's even bleeding into your relationship, making you feel distant at home, affecting your energy levels, your libido, your ability to be present with your loved ones. Let's talk about it. So here is what I see all the time. For context, this April I'm celebrating going into my 8th year of coaching, which is just fucking insane, and I cannot believe how fast that time has gone. I do not recognise the woman I was as a leader myself, and in that time I've worked with over 500 women. Women who, like you, are running a business or working in a leadership role, wanting to move forward into a promotion and grow in their career, but maybe finding themselves overgiving, overstretching themselves, not receiving enough, not asking for support. And I see all the time this micromanagement, and it comes from a place of desire and safety, right? And I can say this with love because I used to be this too. And when I am at my most stressed, I drop back into this pattern and I have to reel myself back in. You're micromanaging and being a control freak. And I can say that with love because I've been there too. You are constantly managing everything. You're managing your team at work. You're managing your calendar. You're managing your to-do list. You're managing your household. You're managing your fucking partner in some cases. You're managing yourself. You're trying to juggle it all. You're basically the CEO, like the operations manager of not just your leadership work, not just your job description, but extended way beyond that. You're managing other people's jobs, other people's to-do lists. You're managing your partner's responsibilities. You're managing everything at home. You are managing and juggling everything. And guess what? It works. Like, it does work because you know how to get shit done. You know what works best. You are efficient. You can multitask, but it's not going to work forever. And you know that eventually, and you might feel yourself at this point, you're starting to feel exhausted. You've built yourself like this golden cage where through your own excellence, through your own performance and productivity and the way you work and get results, you've made it so that everyone around you is relying on you to micromanage them. And that's making you resentful. You resent being the go-to person, not because you don't care, not because you're not grateful, but because it is draining you and it's dulling, it's dimming your spark and that desire and that creativity that you used to really have at work and in your relationship or in your life. You're stuck in that micromanagement cycle with a lot of people in your life who now rely on you to handhold them. And what's missing is magnetic feminine leadership, which we're going to discuss today. Imagine two women at a cliff edge of the ocean. One woman is a lifeguard. She is constantly scanning the shore for danger. She is constantly ready to jump into rescue mode. She is diving into the water ready to pull people out and save them. She is hyper vigilant and constantly switched on, looking out for other people, always working, always in the edge of survival mode. The other woman is a lighthouse. She is standing tall on the cliff edge, grounded, radiating light, because she simply is what she is. People are discovering her. People are coming towards her. She attracts, she doesn't chase. She inspires and calls forward. She doesn't rescue and save. She leads by doing. She leads by being and not doing. Most women have been trained to be a lifeguard. A magnetic feminine leader is a lighthouse. And this shift from micromanaging, fixing, rescuing to magnetizing and calling forward isn't just some energetic, cool spiritual concept that you can consider. it is having a real life tangible impact on your results, whether you work for yourself or whether you work in a corporate or in an organization. Let's give some examples. So for my business owners listening, maybe you're a personal trainer, a social media manager, an interior designer, an accountant, a coach. You're a service-based business owner. In the old paradigm, being the lifeguard, you are over-functioning. You are hand-holding clients, checking in with them constantly, like you're their mum, tapping them on the shoulder, asking them if they've done their homework. You're over-delivering in your services to prove that it's worth the value. If you raise your prices, you're adding in more things to prove to them that you deserve to be paid more. And it's exhausting you. And I see this all the time with Lulu clients who've come into the program, running a great business, doing work they love, but losing that spark, not because they don't care, but because the way they are working with their clients is not sustainable for their energy. They're letting clients overstep boundaries with a cancellation policy. They're not raising the prices for years and months on end because they're scared that their regular clients will leave them if they raise their price by a minimal amount in most cases, but an amount that's going to make a big shift and a big impact on their profitability and the sustainability of their business. A lot of my clients can feel frustration with their clients not getting results, not showing up, holding up their side of the bargain and feeling like they're constantly needing to check in with them. When you shift into magnetic feminine leadership in your business, that is going to shift. You're stopping chasing and following up. You're stopping convincing and trying to prove your worth. You're becoming the woman who attracts soul-aligned clients who know they need to work with you and who are ready to step up and receive that magic. Clients feel your energy in your marketing and they DM you saying, I'm in, send me the link to sign up. Oh, you're raising your prices? Cool. You are so worth it. I'm so glad you've raised your prices. They don't need convincing. They don't need explaining. They know it's you. They know it's you they want to work with because of who you are being. You are that lighthouse energy. When they're in your space, they're getting even better results because instead of fixing them, carrying them, mummying them, you're empowering them. You're laying down really clear boundaries and structure so they feel really deeply supported and they also can rise to that standard, not just for you, but for themselves. If you require your clients to take action, to get back to you with certain information, to implement certain things you're supporting them with, they're gonna fucking do it because you're activating them, you're inspiring them, you're coaching them in so many ways. If you are a service-based business owner, whether you are a coach or not, you are coaching your clients because you have to know how to support your clients to step up for themselves and get that result. Even if you're a done with you service, like let's say a really high level consultant. One of my ongoing one-to-one clients is a really luxury consultant. And so she is helping her clients implement strategy, implement changes in their business. But that business still has to go and do that, right? That business still has to implement that with their team or with their management, with their, other people in the business. And so how you hold that space for your clients is going to determine whether they feel like, let's fucking go, I can do this, let's get on with it. Or, sorry, I can't come to our next call, and oh yeah, I didn't do the things that we said I was going to do. Your clients are going to get better results and they're going to want to rebook. Not because they need you, not because you are fixing them, but because being in your world elevates their energy. If you're a personal trainer, one of my amazing Lulu graduates, I'm thinking of, you can watch her interview on my Instagram. If you scroll back to our last launch, she's called Jen, an incredible PT. Shout out Jen if you're listening, babes. A client will join her PT work for years. Do you think that client knows how to lift weights after being with a PT and having one-to-one sessions for a year, for 2 years? Of course they fucking do. But they still continue to pay, even when she's raising her prices, even when she's shifting her boundaries around and creating more space in her diary. not because they need her, but because they want to work with her. They love being supported in that way because she is magnetic in how she inspires them to put themselves first, to show up for their health and fitness. She leads them through milestones of their life, whether it be postpartum or having a really busy job. And the more she stepped into this feminine leadership in Lulu, the better results her clients got, because she was being that lighthouse energy more and more. Now let's talk about our corporate gals, our employed gals listening. You've probably spent months or even years, even decades, over delivering, fixing other people's messes, taking on other people's urgencies as your emergencies when they are not, holding it all together while trying to stay 5 steps ahead and wondering when someone is finally going to notice, or wondering when your team are going to stop asking you 1,000,001 questions and just fucking Google it. A lot of my corporate girls from Lulu and from one-to-one say to me, I would have just figured this out by myself, so why can't they? And again, it can be this micromanagement cycle that you can get into. You're micromanaging instead of magnetizing, instead of inspiring them to step up and lead themselves. When you have, very similar to the self-employed gal, when you have the boundaries, the structure, the requirements of working with you and working within your team, the right team members thrive in that dynamic. And I've seen it firsthand in one of my clients in Lulu right now, actually. Her team members have said to her, thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the constructive criticism. Thank you for how you have led me and how you have held that higher standard for me. They are growing. They are thriving. And guess what? That means that they are more interdependent within their work. They're not dependent on you. They're not needing their hand-holding because they're learning. They're learning how to do it themselves. They're learning. They feel safe within a team to figure it out, to ideate, to take that initiative because you've given them the right structure, the right support. You've been that lighthouse energy and they can step up to the plate. And I said to this particular client, like, you are being that leader for some of these people that you would have absolutely loved to have when you started out. And I always think that with corporate and with employment, because how many incredible women who are now listening to this podcast and in a leadership role or aspiring to be in a leadership role had really shitty leaders in their past life, in past jobs. You get to be that for other people. Like, you get to be that change you want to feel and you want to see in your industry or in your organization. And it's not about rescuing, it's not about mummying, it's actually calling them forward. And when you lead in that more magnetic way rather than jumping into fix and micromanage, they're going to ask you less questions, they're going to ask you better questions, they're going to bring you solutions rather than bring you issues for you to fix. You are literally setting them up to thrive in the rest of their career. Like, that's the ripple effect that a great female leader has. And I just think that is incredible. And then in terms of your career and your success, whatever it is that you desire, you become the woman they can't not choose. You're handpicked for the promotion. Your name comes up in a room when you aren't even present. Before you even knew you could apply, you were offered the role. The pay rise lands not because you fought for it and convinced them why you deserve it, but because you've become the woman who naturally embodies that leadership. And they were like, of course it's her. Of course she adds this level of value in the company and we want to fucking keep her. Like, let her have the pay rise. People feel your presence. They trust you. You're the obvious choice. And it's the same in business, you know? You're the obvious choice. You're not going into that room convincing, being pick me girl. Please pick me. I deserve it. Please work with me. You're going into that room knowing what a fucking asset you are. And you know you're the number one choice. You know you're the best choice. That's the power of magnetism. Not pushing harder, not doing everything for everyone, but becoming the woman who leads from her heart, in her body, present with her life, and walking her talk in terms of her values in her leadership. That's when the world and the external reality is going to start meeting you at that new level, because people cannot help but see and feel that you hold that higher standard for yourself. Magnetic feminine leadership is something I'm going to teach you how to step into in my new free training, Lead Like a Woman, which is happening this Thursday, the 1st of May. How to work less, lead better, and feel alive again. We go live this Thursday and there is a replay, so if you are listening to this after the fact, you can still sign up and you'll just get sent straight to the replay page. This is designed for the woman who is ready to ditch the blueprint that teaches you that you need to work like a man in order to be successful, and you're ready to lead in a way that feels deeply fulfilling and allows you to be in that magnetic energy rather than micromanaging everything. Imagine how much time that's going to save you, how much more productive and focused and creative you're going to be at work when you're not holding everything for everyone. Imagine the income possibility that opens up for you. Imagine the level of results that your team or your company is going to get when you are leading as that lighthouse, not as the lifeguard. I mean it when I say this. This could change everything for you in 2025. I'm not going to be running this training again this year. This training is going to open the doors to Lulu, which is going to be our last round of 2025. So I've talked about Lulu a lot over the past year. I'm going to be taking 5 clients into Lulu for our June cohort. I'm shifting it into a cohort for June to November. Once it's the end of May, or when spots are filled, the doors are going to close, and I genuinely do not know when they will be open again. So if you're on the fence about Lulu, if you've considered it in the past and you've thought, oh, maybe next time, now is next time, get yourself signed up to this free training. You are going to learn my pleasure-led success method, which is the exact method and framework that I share inside of Lulu with my private clients that I've mentioned in this episode, who are thriving in their business, thriving in their corporate leadership roles, working less, earning more, achieving more, getting incredible results for their clients, for their team members, for their work, without burnout, whilst having a shit ton of fun along the way, falling back in love with their work. That last bit alone, what is that worth to you? Because I know when I fell out of love with my work, when I in 2022 was that lifeguard in codependent dynamics with clients, feeling like I had to fix and prove myself and hustle for my self-worth, I would have given my last penny to be able to work in a way that allows me to live the life I want to live and thrive financially, feel secure, whilst also doing work I love with dream clients in a way that lights me the fuck up and doesn't have me sacrificing all of my personal time and energy for it. It's not a pipe dream. It's not some fluff. It's not some like cool vision board, maybe in 10 years idea. This is the reality that my clients are creating for themselves now, regardless of how busy you feel now, regardless of how burnt out you feel now. You might be thinking, that's not going to work for me, Kat. I dare you to sign up for the training, learn more about the method, figure out where you're at personally in your leadership work, and just witness what is possible for you. So the link is in the show notes. Get yourself signed up or catch the replay. I want to finish with this. Your next level reality, the next level of your success, is not about mastering more work, more systems, more strategy. It's about mastering yourself, your energy, your presence, your ability to lead from softness, from heart, without shrinking your power, to lead from magnetism rather than micromanaging. It's going to earn you more money. It's going to get your clients and customers or team members even better results. When you shift like this, your whole life is going to reorganize itself around that frequency of magnetic feminine leadership. And I cannot wait to show you how in this free training. So get yourself signed up and I'll see you there.